Utathmini unaoendelezwa hapa nchini wa nzige unaonyesha kuwa kwa sasa idadi ya nzige hao inazidi kupungua katika maeneo yaliyokuwa yanaathirika. Waziri wa Kilimo Peter Munya amesema kuwa maeneo athirika ambayo ni Samburu na Turkana yapungua ikilinganishwa na hapo awali.
Samburu. Of course, there is a possibility of those swarms within those two counties to move, because they are always in flight. When we give you a situation, is the situation as it is at that particular time, because a swarm can move from Samburu and go to Isiolo because they are neighboring, or go to Laikipia. But currently, for the last, I would say, 1 month or so, it's largely Turkana and Samburu. In Samburu, we've been able to spray over 500 swarms for the period that locusts have been here. And the swarms that have been sighted right now, I'm told, are around 5 swarms. But as I'm saying, they could move from Turkana, find themselves here, or move from elsewhere. So we just give you a report of what the situation is right now. So we want to continue battling those swarms so that we clear the county of locusts. That is our target. We are working on some challenges. This area where we have the locusts, the reason why it's quite difficult is because it's a very rugged terrain with hills and valleys, very difficult terrain. So even doing ground scouting becomes very difficult, and neither can you do also use vehicles to do surveillance on the ground, because again of the terrain. The hills are sharp, the roads may not exist in some of those remote areas. A bit of insecurity in the Suguta Valley, especially neighboring the area of Turkana and Samburu. So those are some of the challenges that have been experienced. So that really you see these swarms when they have gotten out of those difficult terrains. So we are largely relying on aerial surveillance to monitor, and then of course once we tie them, we are able to spray. What we have decided is to quickly station a spraying aircraft right here, and I've already asked for it to be brought. Hopefully it will be here by tomorrow. It will be stationed here in Samburu to be able to spray within Samburu and also the border of Turkana. We have an aircraft, a spray aircraft in Isiolo, which is largely an helicopter, which can also spray in the area bordering Isiolo in case the swarms are sighted there, because it's a possibility they could find their way there. So with those 2 aircraft for now, we think we'll be fine. And then of course a surveillance aircraft is already stationed here. It's already stationed here. So that is the situation as it is unfolding. But given the fact that we are locusts in over 27 counties, you would consider this a very successful intervention that we have undertaken so far. And even though we don't want to sit on our laurels, or we know, as I've been saying also, locusts could even come from South Sudan, or Ethiopia, or even Eritrea, or even all the way from the Middle East. They travel. So we keep our guard, we keep our equipment ready, we also keep our chemicals, and our trained teams are ready in case the situation changes. But for now, we think we are in quite some control of the situation. And we will continue monitoring the situation. Yes?
Yes.
Kuna ripoti ambayo imetolewa na hii timu ambayo mtapatiwa, ambayo inapeana data ya livestock ile imekuwa affected, pasture area that is affected. But the report they have here is their own estimates. We already commissioned, recruited Kenya Red Cross to do a study for us, which they have concluded, and I'm told there is already a preliminary report in my office, which I want to go and look at on Wednesday. Then I will be able to release the report and start now the process of sourcing resources to support communities to restore livelihoods in the areas that are affected, that have been affected by Locust. So it would be premature for me to give you statistics now, because even if I give them just largely estimates that have not been confirmed. So the Red Cross has been doing what we call ground truthing, and therefore the report will be there ready on Wednesday for us now to start working on implementation of the recommended interventions.
So, given that it's only
the issue here in the region, but here we are. We live in the Horn of Africa again, where regional interventions, coordinated regional intervention becomes difficult because of some of the countries are insecure, some of them don't do the necessary interventions that are required, and this is a transnational and transboundary problem. We believe we are quite in control in Kenya, but as I'm saying, we cannot tell you with 100% that locusts won't come from those other countries. The only thing we can do is to give the confidence, the public, that we have now developed enough capacity within the country, we have enough personnel, we have enough equipment to be able to contain them in case they come. We don't think we will be in a situation we were when they came last time, when they spread it across to the 7 counties. We can be able to contain them and localize them wherever they are. We will not allow them to spread across the country. But we believe in a few months we should be able to declare even Samburu and Turkana locust free. We believe in another 2 months we should be able to say that Turkana and Samburu are locust free. And they are properly assessed, and even our own local agency that assesses chemicals to approve them has done the work. So they are safe. Of course, they have side effects, but not long lasting. We are told in livestock, for example, there could be diarrhea if livestock are sprayed, if they eat the grass that has been sprayed. So a short-term effect. But again, part of what Red Cross was to do was also to do that assessment, to tell us about the efficacy of the chemicals that we have been using. But we've been largely using chemicals that are approved by the agencies and experts who are supposed to approve them. Obviously, I mean, there is no intervention that does not have an impact. So it's a question of deciding what you want. Is it better that you have the locusts roaming around and clearing vegetation, or is it? It's a question of trying to make a choice between two situations that may not be necessarily the very best. And the round over the practice is to use those chemicals that are safe and have been declared so by the UN agencies that have expertise in this particular area. Of course, you hear all sorts of stories, you know, and somebody was saying locusts, you know, his dog had died from eating locusts somewhere. And, we want to find out whether that is possible. But indeed, there has been, you know, seriously speaking, an impact on livelihoods of people in those areas, and government is on top of doing to support restoration of livelihoods in these particular areas where locusts are being.